Well, well, well. Guess who it is? Diesel's back. Join me, subscribe, but get the word out. Diesel's back, and he ain't going nowhere. Hello, hello, hello. Right, how do I change this? What's going on? There we go. Oh, technical issues. I'm so sorry. Do you know what? I was getting so nervous, Declan. I'm so glad you're here, mate, because I was getting nervous. I was like literally backstage, and normally there's quite a few people in the chat, and I'm about to go live, and there was no one here, and I was getting a bit worried and a bit scared and a bit nervous and started sweating a little bit as well. My God, thank God. A few of you are starting to come in now. I thought I was on my own tonight. How embarrassing, right, would that have been? Jesus Christ. God, I was going to get an heart attack. Woohoo! Anyway, do you know what? Honestly, right, for as long as I've been doing this, I swear to God, guys, I'm not even joking with you. Every time I stream, when I see people just filtering through, it's such a buzz. I swear to God. Ask anyone who does this, right, who's got a channel, yeah? It is a buzz, I swear to God. Anyway, listen, intros. Firstly, this won't take long because there's not many people here. However, I'd like to think, fingers crossed, like to think, obviously, as I go on, people will be coming in late, sneaking through the back door, right? Tonight, nothing major, guys, if I'm honest. I'm at home. It's international break. It's boring as anything. I just thought I'd do a stream and have a bit of a light-hearted one with you. Let you know a couple of things I've watched. You know, as you guys know, I'm a big TV addict. Love my films, love my series. And you know what? It breaks it up, doesn't it? Sometimes it's nice, you know, not to moan and rant and criticize our beloved football club. Because it's obviously I do that a lot, as you guys know. But it comes from a good place, I can assure you, you know. I think, you know, the long and short of it is I know what we can be, provided we come correct and we, you know, put the correct blocks in place, you know. And when I don't see that, it really, really winds me up. So yeah, that's it. That's all it is. It comes from a good place. But look, enough of that. You know, I'm sure we'll touch on Arsenal at some point tonight. But look, guys, now that a few of you have joined, let me just do some quick intros. Now, look, anyone who can see the live chat right now, I'm really going to struggle, with all due respect, I'm going to struggle with the first two. I am Chinese. I can see that by the text there. Listen, thanks for joining. I have no idea what that says. If I had a translate button, I'd press it, but unfortunately I haven't. But I'm going to put it up. All right. So, yeah, anyone who knows what that means, please tell me. But now, listen, thank you very much for joining. Oh, that's me. Declan Fallon, big up yourself, Deck. Up you well, mate. We've got Mindful Haven in the chat. Love the consistency. Back in 2 weeks. Come on. I'm getting better, Mindful. I'm getting better. Yeah, I'm getting better. Come on. We've got Kabir Adin in the chat as well. Big up yourself. We've got AFC always. AFC always is everywhere as well. Big up yourself, my brother. Mike England. Listen, one of my loyalists. Yeah, a Diesel disciple. Come on, Mike. Hope you well, mate. Every time I stream, this man is always here. So, Mike, I really appreciate that. More than you'll know, mate. Trust me. We've got Nino as excuse me. Nino 1983 as well. Big up yourself, Nino. Hope you're well, mate. In fact, do you know what? Yeah, we're going to touch on that at some point tonight. I did sort of mention it the last time I streamed. Pray for Madrid, pray or whatever this nonsense is. But yeah, big up yourself, mate. And we've got Oles 12. Big up Diesel. Oles 12. Come on. I've got a feeling I know who this is. All right. So yeah, be nice. Very, very close to me. Yep. Hope you're all good. We've got Todd Burge as well. Look, snuck in through the back door as well. Big up yourself, Todd. Good evening, Diesel, and everyone else. Hope all is well. All good. Thanks, mate. Lovely jubbly. Right. Okay. Where do I start? Do you know what? It's funny, right? Some bloke I work with, we were chatting earlier on, and he saw the advertisement. You know, obviously we advertise when we stream. I put it on Instagram. I put it on Twitter. I don't know why I put it on Twitter because I'm not a Twitter fan, or X now we call it. It's just I just don't like it. Do you know what? It's funny, right? I'm not going to call it X because I prefer Twitter. I must have over 800 followers or whatever you want to call it on Twitter. It means nothing, guys. I can assure you, it means absolutely nothing. About how many followers you've got or whatever. I don't like it at all. Instagram's more my thing. But yeah, look, you know, that's where obviously I get the most traction from Instagram. So obviously I always make sure I advertise on there. Anyway, cut long story short, I'm speaking to him and he said, Dees, Big D, saw your advertisement about your stream tonight. What are you going to talk about? And I was like, do you know what? I'll be honest, I have no idea. I don't know. But do you know what? The good thing is I've got such a good chat room, right? You guys in the chat, I've got such a good chat room that I used to get really nervous about streaming because I don't script nothing or whatever. It just flows. You know, you guys, you know me, I can talk for Britain, right? But, you know, before I'm about to stream, I do sit here and think, oh my God, what do I talk about? What do I talk about? However, I feed off of you guys. You know what I'm saying? So obviously it just makes it so much easier for me. But that's what I said to him. I said, I don't know, but look, I've got a good chat room. You know, it's nice to just do a stream and just, you know, just talk about everything in general, just cover a little bit of everything, touch on a bit of everything, do a deep dive. You know, it doesn't always have to be about, you know, moaning about the Arsenal or moaning about these crap players we've got or moaning about this manager who just can't cut it, right? So, but, you know, we talk about everything, right? I do want to touch on though, guys. Look, very quickly, honestly, it's international break. It's boring. Yeah, I don't watch international football. I don't watch England. They bore me. I'm going to be totally honest. Obviously, when it comes to tournaments, you know, the Euros, the World Cup, yes, I watch that all day long. In terms of games like against Albania and Latvia and whoever, all these minnows, these fishermen, I don't watch it. Yeah, because you know what it is. You know, in this country, you know, we get overhyped. You know, we beat Latvia 3-0, I think it was. And obviously, all of a sudden, there's this media frenzy. Oh, my God, Tommy Tuchel. Oh, my God. Oh, he's here. He's arrived. Oh, my God, he's smashing Southgate to bits. Oh, you know, we're going to win the World Cup. You know, like we're going to smash France. We're going to smash Spain. We're going to smash Argentina. We're going to smash Holland. We're going to do, you know, this country makes me laugh, honestly. They just go so overboard. The one thing I will say, massive, massive, massive big up to Miles Lewis-Skelly on making his debut. Big up to him for, you know, for getting his first goal as well in international football. Very good player. I do like the look of Lewis-Skelly. The one thing I do want to say, though, guys, already I'm starting to see that he's getting a lot of hate. I wonder why that is. You know, come on, you know, if we're being honest, you know, we all know why. Yeah, it's not so much him, it's how he looks. You know, and what people do, what a lot of these closet people do, shall we say, you know, these undertones, right? Oh, do you know what it is? There's just something about him. There's just something about him. I remember, right, when I did a stream on here, and we were talking about Meghan Markle, yeah, how I was saying I think she's had a bit of a hard time. I think she had the knives were out for her as soon as she landed in the UK, as soon as she touched the road here, yeah. You know, I wonder why. And the same thing with Miles Lewis-Skelly. You know, all I get told, or all I've seen on social media and whoever, certain other people, there's just something about him I don't like. There's just something about him, something about him, something about him, something about him. There's just something about him, right? And what they'll do is they'll use the so, you know, when he scored against Man City and he did the Haaland like celebration, and you know the knives were out for him from that day. And people will use that as an excuse. And all I get told, there's just something about him, something about him, something about him, something about him. What is it about him then? I don't know, Dees. It's just something about him. It's just, I don't like him. Attitude. Okay, so attitude. What, in what way? Give me an example. What have you seen? What have you seen? Well, I can't. It's not any one thing, Dees. It's just Let me see. Look. There's just something about him I don't like. That's what I get, and that's what I hear, right? So, listen, I've always said this, right? We have a very intelligent chat room. We all know, I ain't got to, go right into it. Yeah, we all know, you know what I mean? Like the way the media is and the way certain people are, they can't outrightly come and say it because they don't like it because of how he looks. Let's just have that right. Yeah, that's mostly what it is. Undertones within the media, undertones within a lot of these pundits. It's clear to see, right? It's clear to see. I can say what I come from a thing where I can say what I want. Look, I'm both. So that means I can say what I want and get away with it. But I genuinely believe that there are racial undertones when it comes to things like that. Yeah. And let's be honest, they played, when was it? Yesterday, England played. I had a text from my old man, my dad, saying, God, blimey, could you imagine if this was like a semi-final or a final and there's 5 or 6 black players in that team? Imagine if it goes to penalties. Imagine this. My God. It was a running joke, wasn't it, when we was in the Euros? Anyhow, these players miss and wear out. We could be in a pub or a bar watching it. I have to quickly drink my drink and get home. Sneak at the pub and get home because anyhow, one of these players miss. Oh my God, can you imagine? Jesus Christ, I'd get killed. But there you go, is what it is, right? But look, all joking aside, that's not joking aside because I'm being dead serious there. But yeah, Miles Lewis-Skelly, if you ever see this, bro, well done, mate. Well done. Very good player. And yeah, long may it continue. Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka, he's from what I'm hearing, he's on the mend. He's very close to returning. I think he even played a little practice match behind the scenes. So it looks like we may see him in action just before the end of the season. The Assembled is here as well. Big up yourself, mate. I'll see you. Why not Arteta is a loser? So are you for backing him? Cook. Love it. Big up the tripod. Come on, that's me. Mr. Waffle as well. Hope you're well, mate. Hope you're good. Declan Reach, I haven't seen it, mate. I've seen it advertised. I've not seen it. That is on my list. We've got TJ Warren TV as well. Big up yourself, TJ. It has been a minute since me and you last spoke. I hope you're well, mate. Big up Diesel, bro. Smash the likes, people. Listen, thank you very much, TJ. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, and everything is cushy with you and yours, meaning family, missus, whatever. I hope you're good, mate. I hope you're good. Alistair Willis as well. Big up yourself, Alistair. Hope you're well. What do you think of UK government getting paid more? Listen, let's get on to that in a minute. Dominic Buckner, oi, Diesel, big up. Hope you're well, mate. Hope you're good. Who else we got? We've got Grant McRoberts in the chat as well. Big up yourself, Grant. Ricardo, my God, Ricardo. Jesus Christ, where have you been? Lord of mercy. Where you been, boy? Where I been? Where I go? Big up yourself, Ricardo. I haven't seen you in time. Where have you been? That is a genuine question. Answer, please, now. Where have you been? Mr. Waffle, Diesel, do you think it's done on purpose to get people talking so they get more coverage? No, I don't, mate. I genuinely think... do you know what, right, Mr. Waffle? Let me just say this, and I said it before on the stream. My son's watching this, so I've got to be very careful in what I say tonight. Obviously, certain things are not for young ears. But I will say this, though, right? I remember a story that came out, and I've never, ever forgotten it, yeah? When I talk, look, I'm not one who plays the card. I'm really not, right? But when I see certain things, I do sort of watch closely, and I do, I just see certain... Look, this is a young boy, right? This is a young boy who's just represented his country, like, for the first time. I've got no issue if someone says, I don't like him, right? But if you don't like someone, you must be able to back it up and tell me why, right? You can't just say just something about him, I don't like him. But what, though? What's giving you that impression? You don't know him. Do you get what I mean? And there was a story that came out before, right? Phil Foden, it was Phil Foden, wasn't it? Yeah, Phil Foden and Saka, right? They both, obviously young boys, right? They both went out and bought their mum a house, right? Now, in the media, in the papers, Phil Foden came across as, what a nice young man. Look at what he's done for his mum. Bought her that mansion. What a really nice gift. Oh, what a nice son, right? But then when Saka did the exact same thing, it was a case of, who does he think he is, this flash black, whatever. Flash, one of them, look, got a bit of money, thinks he's Flash and Mr. Big I Am. You know, and this is what I'm saying, guys. Now, when you're seeing that in the media and you're reading that in the papers, tell me what's different. Both young boys, both got a bit of money, a bit of coin, and both went out and got their mum a house. Can someone in the chat please tell me, what is the difference? Why did Phil Foden come across as, lovely? But yet Bukayo Saka come across as this flash. Why? Honestly, you know, look it up. I'm not lying. You know, it's things like this, guys, and it's always been there. And obviously for certain people who have been through it or experienced it or whatever, obviously that stuff, it resonates with you, you know, and it sticks with you. You know what I'm saying? It does. We've got static as well in the chat as well. I'm seeing some people coming in. Love it. The assembled diesel. Could it be Skelly's hairstyle? You tell me. Of all the comments I've seen, mate, the one thing I've not seen yet is anything to do with his hair. So I would imagine it's not that. Joe Gugg as well. Big up yourself, Joe. If I call Arteta a failure, which is what we believe people tell what I ever achieved, are we not entitled to our opinion anymore? Well, look, listen. You know, I'm trying to look. I'll be honest with you. I'm trying to find out how I can change the name of this channel, because I don't really want to call it Diesel Arsenal anymore. I want to call it something like Diesel Uncensored or whatever, right? Because I'll be honest with you guys. You know, as much as I like talking about our club, you know, and obviously I get very passionate about Arsenal, I'm also very aware that every other man and his dog has got an Arsenal channel and they're doing the exact same thing. I like to be different personally. You know, I like to talk about all stuff, you know, stuff in life, whatever. It could be films, it could be birds, it could be whatever it is, right? I don't like the idea of I don't want to pigeonhole myself just talking about one thing and that's it. You know, if we have a platform on YouTube, no matter how big or small it is, let's be honest, guys, you know, a lot of us, you know, we all go through the same sort of chores in life. We all go through the same issues, you know, as men or whatever, right? You know, and I just like the idea of talking about anything. You guys know me. I do not hold back. I don't hold back. You ask me a question, I will answer it, you know, and I will be honest. And I've always been that way. You know what I'm saying? I don't lie about anything or whatever. If you like it, great. If you don't tune in. Don't tune in. I've told people before, I'm not looking to do this full time. So, you know, it's not a case of I need to get loads and loads of you guys on board so I can earn a bit of coin, right? It's not like that. You know, half the reason why I think you guys tune in to watch me, and let's have it right. You guys have got so many other channels out there that you can watch. You ain't got to watch me. The reason why you watch me, I believe anyway, is because I talk the truth. And I'm not an idiot, right? I've got half a brain. And we can actually talk about certain things. It's not limited on here. We can talk about anything, right? Anything. And yes, I rant and rave and, you know, about Arsenal or whatever, but we also have a laugh on here, have a bit of banter. Life is tough, guys. Let's have it right. I've never known life as tough as it is currently right now, right? There's so many people being made redundant, losing their jobs. Everything is going up. Nothing's coming down. It's tough. It's an absolute rat race, especially where I live in London. You know, so the way I look at it, if I can come on here for an hour or so and have a bit of a laugh with you guys, have a bit of a discussion, light-hearted banter or whatever it is, then do you know what? If we get a bit of escapism for an hour, what harm are we doing, right? You know, that's how I look at it anyway. Steve RFC as well. Pick up yourself, mate. I'll see you. AFC always. Listen, I need to. Days, have you been watching the protection? Yes, I completed that last week, mate. And I'll tell you what, it was absolutely brilliant. I really liked it. I'm going to tell you guys some other things I've been watching as well. I just want to quickly shout out the guys who have just joined us as well. We've got Will M. Hooper. Big up Big D's. I love saying D's. I don't know what it is. I love it. I'm buzzing. Will, hope you're well, mate. Will I am. Come on. Excuse me. We've got Static as well in the chat. Big, my brother. Static, big up yourself, mate. Hope you're well. Ryan Stockley, come on. Miniaba, yeah, in the same manner as me. Come on. Hope you're well. Hope you're well. Ricardo Emery to put Arteta down in the semi-final. Listen, Emery would piss all over Arteta. In actual fact, he has more than once. But anyway, who else we got? Who else we got? We've got Joseph O'Hanlon as well in the chat. Big up yourself, Joe. Hope you're well, mate. True Fairs play. O's 12. O's 12. Come on. You can't argue with the facts. Exactly. Static. Big love and respect always, Diesel. Never hold back and keep up the good work, bro. Listen, guys, I've said it once, I'll say it again, right? I cannot stand the way this world is at the moment. I can't stand it, right? This woke culture, it bugs me, right? I have a little boy, and I know for a fact he's watching us right now. And do you know what? As a parent, which will lead me on nicely, actually, to a series that I completed last week, and I thought it was one of the best things I've ever seen, right? That's how highly I rated it, yeah? When you're a parent in this day and age and you've got kids, do you know how scary it is to be a parent now? Knowing what everything that we're what's the word? That we're exposed to, yeah? You know, like years ago, it was slightly different. I'm not saying everyone was an angel back then. You know, obviously when I was growing up, never had mobile phones, never had social media. Things went on, but we were pretty much kept away from it unless you put the news on or whatever. Now, these kids, iPads, phones, this, that, the other. It's scary to be a parent because as much as you can raise your kid and you can try and be the best parent you can be, we're also aware that our kids will leave the house and they will be mixing with scumbag children, you know, who have been raised by scumbag parents. You know what I mean? Now, listen, I don't ever hold back from that. You know, not everyone is brought up. You know, some people are dragged up. It's just a fact, right? It's just a fact. And some of these things that I see every day on my phone, little girl got shot, little boy got shot, raped, this, that, the other, whatever it is, it's absolutely sickening, right? There are people I know who want children but have decided not to because they just can't bear the thought of bringing a child into the world the way it is today. Now, if you'd have said to me, I don't know, 5-10 years ago, you know, me personally, I would have said, you don't want kids, you're mad. It's the best gift that you can ever have, right? However, I'm now starting to understand these people. You know, I'm starting to see it. What world is this? You know, every series I seem to watch, it just seems to be so many series at the moment about police corruption within the police. You know, you look at a policeman, a policewoman, whoever, you know, these guys are looked at as safe, right? You know, you're in trouble and you see a policeman walking towards you. Oh, thank God, result, I'm safe. Woo, right? They're just as corrupt as anything else. Do you know, I probably watch, I watch a lot of YouTube, you know, I probably watch more YouTube, right, than what I do TV. And I'm starting to watch these audits, DJ audits. I'm starting to watch DJE Media, you know, Auditing Britain. I love these shows, by the way, guys. I love these shows. But you know what? When you watch these guys, it shows you just how much the police take the piss, right? How they make up their own rules. You know, they don't follow protocol, right? They just make it up as they go along. Anyone because look, you know, no, you're right. I didn't know this, you know, unless there's by law, you don't have to give your name and address to the police if they ask you. I didn't know that, right? Some of these things I've learned from watching these guys, you know. I didn't know. I thought it was illegal to film people, but you know, if you're on a public footpath or you're in a public road and you're not on private property, you can do it. They can't do nothing. These little things I didn't know. Not that I would ever do that, but it's nice to know the law. It's nice to learn a little bit about the law because anyone who doesn't know the law My God, these police, they will love you, right? Honestly, little things like this, guys, anything to educate yourself and just learn a little bit. I don't claim to know everything about or anything about everything, but you know what? I like to know a little something about everything, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, right? Watch these things, guys. They're really good. I promise you, honestly. Mike, you talk sense, Diesel, and I enjoy the input by the chat members. Thank you very much, Mike. I try my best. Steve, your videos are good to watch. Cheers. That you guys are too nice. Stop it. Honestly, behave yourselves. Thank you very much. You always want the best for Arsenal. Steve, you know what it is, mate? I'm one of these guys, right? I want the best for everyone, everything and everyone who I love dearly. I want the best for my friends. I'm not a jealous person, you know. I know what jealous looks like. You know what I mean? You know, you could have a friend who anything good happens to you. You know, you get certain friends who, well, fake friends who don't like it. They don't want to see you succeed. And the thing is, like I say, everything about life at the moment, everything about this world, this country, everything, I don't like. I preferred it years ago, how it was back then. Now you've got more snakes than ever, right? You know, you've got more fakes. You know what I mean? All the bad stuff, you're getting more of it. And all the good stuff, you know, proper people, good people, they're dying to death, right? I'll give you an example, right? The other day I went to the gym. Yeah, I'm walking towards the door and there's a woman walking towards me, right? Now, she stood back to allow me to walk through. And I was like, no, what are you talking about? Come on. Right? She went, oh, you sure? I went, yeah, come. I opened the door for her. She went, oh, thank. Like, she was so shocked. I was like, no, I'm a gentleman, darling. I'm a gentleman. You know, you're a lady. I said, oh, my God. You know, in my head, that should be standard, right? If I'm on a train, not that I take the train very rarely, but when I do, if I'm sitting down and I see an elderly woman or a woman who's got kids and she's got bags of shopping or whatever, I could be on the bus. Yeah, here, darling, have my seat. Oh, no, that's all right. No, I insist. Come on, please. You sure? Yeah, go on. You know, little things. If I walk through the door, I'll hold it open for the person behind me. Oh, cheers, man. That's right, man. It's manners. It's what I'm saying there, guys. It's nothing, in my eyes anyway, it's nothing major. It's manners. It's manners. Let a lady, you know, go first, or a girl or whatever, right? Be a gentleman. You know what I mean? You know, chivalry and all this. It's manners. But you don't see that anymore. It's really weird, honestly. It's really, you know, I mean, Tesco's, you know, I'll have a bit of a laugh and a flirt with the old girls in there, like on the tills or whatever. I'm a cheeky chappy. I'm a Londoner. I'll talk to anyone. I'm one of them people. I'll talk to anyone, right? And these old girls, they absolutely love it. I'm telling you, they go over like a granny on ice, right? But honestly, you know what? It's just having a laugh. You know, it's having a bit of flirt, you know, that bit of London banter and all that, cheeky chappy. You know, they love it. But you know what? And one of them actually said to me in my local one, right? You know, there's not many like you anymore. What do you mean like me? What are you talking about? No, she went, you know, you can have a laugh on the counter and have a bit of flirt, have a bit of cheekiness or whatever. Not crossing the line, just a little bit of cheekiness, harmless, right? You don't get it anymore. People now are miserable, right? Miserable. And I'm starting to see it myself. I'm getting to an age now where I'm starting to moan about everything. Honestly, I'm turning into a proper old man, people. You know what? Do you know one thing that really annoys me? I never noticed it before. I don't know if it's me or whether it's just got worse. You know, like whenever you're in Tesco's, right? And you get the people who work in there, right? And they push them big trolleys. They're always in my way. I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it's late in the last 2-3 months. It's really started to get on my wick. Honestly, I'm in there. I never take a basket. Sod that, right? I'm a trolley man. Yeah, not the big ones. You know, like the little ones, right? And I'm in there, and every aisle I go down, it's like these workers. It's like they're in the way. I'm trying to shop, darling. Do that later. Do you know what I'm saying? It really bugs me, honestly. Right? Controversial opinion as well. I'm sorry to say this. I genuinely believe people over a certain age should not be allowed to drive. I'm sorry. The elderly are going to come for me. I'm so sorry. They should not be driving over a certain age. Honestly, they're lucky I'm not in charge of this country, because that is one of the first rules I would implement. Tony Nery's in the chat as well. Big up yourself, Tony. I see you, brother. Hope you're well, mate. Hope you're good. AFC always is everywhere. Diesel, win the dog. We'll have puppies before Arsenal win another league title. Facts. Diesel, bless up to your boy. Come on. See that? Come on. I know you're watching, son. See, they love you already. You're going to take over from your old man when when I up and go, this is going to be yours. All right. I've left you a proper good channel with proper good people. Come on. Mike, when I was a youngster, I used to leave my parents' house for several hours at a time, and I had a great childhood. But now, no way would I let children out in this day and age. Mike, you know what? I'm so glad in a way, right, that my boy's watching, because I'll tell you something now. I say this to him all the time, and you know what kids are like. Oh, all right, Dad, whatever, right? In fact, I believe my dad's watching this right now, yeah, and he will back me up. You know what it is? It's a circle, isn't it? It's a vicious circle. When I was that age, my dad's trying to tell me things, and as a kid, you know, you get a bit dismissive, and you're like, oh, yeah, whatever, Dad, yeah, whatever, yeah, all right, yeah. You know nothing, Dad. Yeah, you don't know. I know it all, Dad. You know nothing, Dad. All right, yeah, well, yeah, whatever. Yeah, you tell me I can't do this, well, I'm going to do that. Right? You do. I don't know what it is. It's an attitude thing, right? You know, kids do, right? And I'm seeing my boy sometimes, you know, I'm trying to tell him something, and he thinks, you know, like as kids do, oh, Dad, you know, why are you trying to be awkward? Why are you trying to be difficult? Why are you trying to upset me? Why are you trying to make me cry? Why are you trying to, right? It's not. It comes from a good place. The thing is, guys, and kids don't see this until they're older and they have their kids. And then once they're trying to tell their kids something, they'll look at us and think, oh, my God, Dad, you're so right. You're so, you know, it's a vicious circle, right? But, Mike, you're right. You know, we, again, growing up, we never had phones. You know, we had bikes. That was about it. We had no phones. You know, our sort of thing for coming, you know, the old bat signal for coming home was when it started to get dark. You know, so we, you know, we'd be out all day. You know, we'd go literally all over. Don't forget, we all had bikes. You know, we go like around the area, around the borough. Sometimes we used to go right far, but we didn't go too far because we knew at some point when it starts to get dark, we have to be home. And if we're not, you know, we're going to get the belt, we're going to get the wicker shoe, we're going to get the slipper. Yeah. Right. Things that you can't do nowadays. Yeah. Because you get locked up. Right. But back then it was a thing. But you know what? It instilled a bit of discipline, you know, and yeah, that's what it was, you know. And do you know what the funny thing is, Mike? All these things that we read about, kids getting kidnapped, you know, I read the other day, you know, big white van, 2-3 guys in it, driving down, trying to find kids and snatch them and put them in the back. You know, this stuff happens, man. Just because it doesn't happen to you or it hasn't happened to you yet, I'm telling you, it happens. Yeah. Honestly, I'm probably the worst person, you know, because I'm so safety conscious, guys, that I do, as a parent, I do not want that phone call. I do not want that phone call. I don't, you know, and any you guys in the chat will see where I'm coming from. Any parents in here, it's the one phone call that you just don't want, right? You know what I'm saying? You know, just be careful. Look left, look right. You know, especially where I live, there's so many, you know, boy racers about, and they have no regard or whatever. You know, it's just little things. Always be aware of your surroundings. You know your little shortcuts. You know, always make sure your phone is fully charged if you're going out. You know, just them little things, guys. You know, I mean, like luckily, like, you know, we've got trackers now, so you know we can track. That's a good thing, you know. Obviously, we never had that years ago. But yeah, listen, these are things, man. These are things. Mr. Waffle, you know, they're top channels. Come on, Mr. Yep, drone laws. Yep. Again, even that. You know, and if a drone is under 250 grams, you know, and all theirs are, you know, there's a 249. You know, I didn't know any of this, you know, and it's really good. It's interesting. Jimmy D as well. James Dunlop. Jimmy D. Evening Diesel. Hope you well, mate. Same to everyone here. Come on, Jimmy D. Big up. Hope you're good, mate. Hope you're good. Nino. This government and London Mayor are the biggest threat to London and this country. We're effed. A machete fight in a local school this weekend near me in Elm Park. Yeah, I know Elm Park very well, mate. Very close to Hornchurch. No arrests made. what's going on. Do you know what? Everything I've just said there, guys, you know, it's also a case of, you know what, sometimes you can be careful, but sometimes it literally can be a case of the wrong place at the wrong time. It can literally be a case of that. You know what I mean? It's just disgusting, like, you know, what's going on out there at the moment. You know, this knife crime as well. Every time you put the news on, like, it's something, you know, it's something bad. You know, every time you have a notification, like, you know, goes off in your phone, it's something bad. Honestly, do you know what? I said this to you, you know, you guys before. You know, I'm not a lover of human beings, man. I'm not going to lie. Do you know, I'm very much a homebody. I'm very much, you know, you know, like when you're getting from work, you know, you close your front door and you lock it, and then you're in your own bubble. You're in your own world. You know, I go out, you know, shopping or whatever, and meet the boys sometimes. Other than that, I don't really like do much, guys. Honestly, I think ever since COVID, I just appreciate being at home. I just love being at home. I don't know what it is, you know. And when you read about like what's going on out there, you know, like, you know, and that's another thing, like the nightlife. You know, I think I'm 43 years of age. I think mine was, you know, my generation, we were the last ones to have proper nightlife. You know, every nightclub I used to go to on a regular, none of them are here. Nino, you mentioned Elm Park, mate. You know, I used to go Hornchurch all the time. Romford was my place. I used to go there all the time. Brannigan's, Time and Envy, Edwards, Yates's, you name it, Pacific Edge, Opium, yeah, Hollywood's, Jumping Jacks. You know what I'm saying? All these places I used to go. Done. It's done. And I look at these kids growing up now, and I think to myself, blimey, I feel so sorry for these kids. They will have no nightlife. You know, like there are no clubs anymore. You know, they've all been knocked down, turned into flats. You know, what are they going to do? I mean, in fact, you know, forget our kids. The teenagers now, what are they doing? Where are they going? What are they doing? It can't always be. I mean, look, even pubs are dead, right? There's not really any bars anymore. I suppose if you want a night out like that, you have to go up London. You know, where are they going? Seriously, what are they doing now? Where is there to go? If I wanted to go to a nightclub tonight, I wouldn't know where to go. How sad is that? Nightlife is dead. Absolutely dead. I remember I was with a friend in a pub a few weeks back. It was a Friday night. It must have been about 10 after 10. And the barmaid said, yeah, like, we're closing up now. Can you drink up? I was like, it's half 10, babe. Yeah, but you know, it's you know, we close. I think they close at 11 or quarter to 11 or so. I was like, what, on a Friday night? She went, yeah. Now, you know, with all due respect, I'm looking around the pub. It's not exactly busy, right? You know, it's things like that, guys, where I'm like, on a Friday night. My God, I remember going out on a Friday. Everywhere was rammed, right? Rammed. Now, 10:30 on a Friday night, you're kicking us out. There must be about 10 people in here. Like, that's how bad it's got. It's a joke. I was home by about 11. Seriously, mad. Jimmy D. Hi, Mike. I haven't been to the new ground yet. For anyone who doesn't know, Jimmy D's a big Everton fan. I haven't been to the new ground yet. Also, I'm okay, just tired out and a bit stressed with work. Also in a bit of pain, but I'll live. Hope you're well, mate. Jimmy D, I hope it's nothing too serious. My brother. Danny Cook, oh my God, my Aubameyang out, mate. Danny, I'll never forget that. Every time I see your name, I think of Aubameyang. Hope you're good, mate. Hi, Diesel. How are you doing? I'm very good, mate. I'm very good. Hope you're well too. You and the family. Come on, boom. Will M. Hooper, I'm an early 90s baby. I'm glad I was raised before the social media age. I've been in both worlds. What I've noticed is that people are a lot more miserable now than back then. It's off-putting. Absolute, mate, I swear, yeah, bang on. I totally agree. So, do you know what it is, right? You know what it is? I swear to God, I'm going to say this now. Son, I know you're watching. I'm so sorry, but I've got to say this, right? So, obviously, I'm from an era where, you know, as I said before, as I've said it many a times, you know, we had no phones back then. When you're going out clubbing, you know, like now you've got these dating apps and all this. You know, I'm from a time, an age where, you know, if you like someone, you just like walk over to them and start a conversation, right? Oh, yeah, you know, my name's so-and-so, what's yours? And then obviously, you know, you strike up a conversation, right? sometimes I go when I go to the gym. You know, I'll be honest with you. Sorry to anyone who watches this who goes to the gym, to my gym. You know, there's not many attractive women in there. I'll be honest with you. A lot of them are butters, right? But yeah. However, having said, I'm so sorry to say that, but they are. It's just a fact. It's true. However, there are 3 or 4. You know, a few in there that I look at and I think, do you know what? That's not bad. That's a bit of me, right up my street, right? And now, there was one, and I think I said it ages ago, right, on a stream once, right? There was this one girl in there. I thought she was absolutely stunning. To a point, I walked up to her and said, "Look, I'm so sorry. I've got to say this. I'm sorry to bother you. I think you're absolutely gorgeous. You take every time I see you, you hold my attention." I mean, something like that, right? Now, luckily for me, right? She smiled and she took it really well. You know, she said thanks, and every time after I used to see her, we used to start say hello and all that, right? Nothing come of it. Cool, right? But I'm one of them people. I will do that. I don't get nervous with things like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, people go, "Oh, I'm married," or "Oh, I've got a boyfriend," whatever. Well, like, you're lost, darling, not mine, right? But we all get knocks, right? That's a fact of life. But I'm not embarrassed or nervous about doing that stuff because I've come from an era where if you like someone, you just went up and spoke to them, right? That's how I prefer it anyway, right? We never had dating apps back then. You just approach. And obviously, have a bit of like lyrics, a bit of speech, right? Now, if I was to do that now, I'd probably be called a pervert. I'd probably be called a wrong 'un. I'd probably have the police called on me, or because I said hello, or I think you're attractive, or whatever. Do you know what I mean? And this is what I'm saying, guys. This is how mad it's got now. Seriously. And I think it's especially tough for men. More so than women. I do agree with that. I do believe that. As a man, as a young man growing up in this country now, in this world, it's tough. And I stand by that. Pepsi, hope you're well, mate. I'll see you. Evening Diesel. Wow, what a game. What a sort of game. Wow, what a time to join. I totally agree with you on the driving. There's too many OAPs on the road, mate. There's too many driving with Stasies, man. Honestly, I swear to God. It proper wine. And do you know the thing is as well? I have it so many times, right, where I'm driving and I'm behind. You can always tell if it's a person of a certain age, right? I don't want to be horrible, but it is. It's so true. But you know what? They drive so slow. It's more dangerous. See, it's more dangerous. Honestly, it just, oh my God. No, it's one of my pet hates. I can't help it. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Shoot me now. Nat Leslie, big up yourself. Nut Dread. Hope you're well. Big up Diesel Evening to all in the chat as well. Respect to the truth. Long may it last. He's referring to me, by the way, and you guys as well, because we all speak the truth here, don't we? Yes, we bloody do. Come on. Lovely. Big up yourself, Nut Dread. Hope you're well. We've got Jason Carter as well. Big up yourself, Jason. Big up Diesel. Finally caught you live. The only reason I went live at 8 p.m. tonight, Jason, is just so you could catch me, brother. I did it for you, you see. Hope you're good, mate. Hope you're well. Nino Hollywoods, come on. Yeah, I used to live in there, mate. I used to go Ilford a lot as well. Anyone who knows where Ilford is. Fifth Avenue venue, that was the place, right? I started out in Legends in Barking. Remember Legends in Barking? That's where my very first time going clubbing. When you're sort of 15, 16, but you pass. Do you remember years ago, right? You used to buy them magazines and it used to have a fake ID on the back. Do you remember? I don't know if anyone remembers that, right? So obviously, yeah, you could get fake ID. You'd go in, and you know what? When you show it and you go in and you get an alcoholic beverage, you were like, "Oh my God, I'm the man, I'm the man." Oh. We used to do all of that, didn't we? Honestly, boy, looking back, it's like now if I'm in Tesco's, right, and I buy like a bottle of wine or a JD or something, and the lady has to come and take the thing off as well. I'm standing there now and I'm like, "Oh, please ask me for ID, please, please." To a point where when they don't, it upsets me, right? So I make a joke and say, "Look, I've got ID." "No, you're all right." No, seriously, ask me. Please ask me. Make my day. Yeah. And obviously, you have a bit of a laugh and a joke with them and all that, but this is what I'm saying. But that was how it was back in the day. Diesel, unfortunately, I've got to bounce, have a good show, bro. No worries, mate. Big up Static. 24 likes. Thank you very much, guys. If we can get 50 minimum, I'd really appreciate it. I'm giving you great content tonight. Come on, take a punt on me, yeah? Come on, smash the like button. Jason, young teens and some young adults out here in Florida are wilding out in the streets. That's why I carry an SRG a SIG 22 pistol diesel. I've got to protect myself and the family. Right, is that where you're from, Jace? Yeah, Florida. And you're watching me. Come on, my brother. That's what I'm saying. Oh, man, love it. I'm just buzzing. Do you know what? I've never been to America, you know. I stayed overnight once. I think it was Newark. But it was straight to the hotel, didn't go out because we stayed in Newark on our way to Jamaica. So, yeah, stayed in Newark for the night. But I've not been. You know, I've always wanted to go New York, especially like around Christmas time. I think a lot of that's from Home Alone, like the film. You know, and people I know who have been to New York over Christmas, and they say it's just amazing. Like they proper celebrate it over there. It just looks beautiful. That's another thing. Christmas, you know, that's another thing that started death over here in this country. Do you remember years ago? You know, anywhere like in the UK, we used to proper celebrate Christmas. You know, you would see decorations like galore. You know, lights up the street. It was beautiful. Everyone went to town. You know what I'm saying? You know, you'd like drive, you know, down your road. More or less every house was all lit up and it was beautiful, right? No one bothers anymore. No one bothers anymore. I remember even the last World Cup. Well, you know, World Cups previous. You know, like we bring out a song. You know that there's bunting everywhere. Everyone's going mad. Everyone's house. You know, you got the flag. And I've noticed lately, just in the last one, there weren't really a lot of that. And I think this is what I'm saying. Life. I said it at the start of the stream. Life is so tough now. It's the toughest I think we've ever known it, right? Can't remember who said it earlier on. People are miserable. You know, people are miserable. Life is tough. You know, and obviously I think having gone through COVID, and you know, we all know someone who we lost to COVID. It could have been a family member or a friend or a work colleague or whatever. COVID affected all of us in different ways. You know, these things. And I think I look at now and I just think, you know what? It's just, I don't see a lot of happy people anymore. I really don't. You know, I'm one of them. Look, I have my troubles as much as anyone, but I've just got this. I'm a cheeky chappy. I try and look at positives because my mindset is no matter how hard I've got it, there's always someone worse off around the corner. And I always try and look at it like that. And if I have a mindset like that, it tends to get me through those hard times, right? You know, so not that I'm trying to preach to anyone here because I'm not a therapist or whatever, but all I would say is, you know, just sometimes think about that. You know, if you're going through something tough, there's always someone worse off around the corner, and I mean a hell of a lot worse off. So knowing that, you know, it makes your problem not as major as it was, as you thought it was. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm trying to say. It just any little trick or tip that you use that gets you through those hard times. Do you know what? You know, use it. You know, each to your own. You know what I'm saying? Ryan, this is something I said the other day as well to someone, and mate, you are bang on. Kids having kids. Yeah, that's another. Do you know what, right, guys? I'm going to say this. Yeah, I've said it before. Yeah, this whole thing about Andrew Tate. You know, I've openly said on this channel, I like him. I do. Do I agree with everything he comes out with? No. But when he talks about young men having it tough, when he talks about, you know, going gym and improving yourself, you know, when he talks about, you know, the breakdown of the family home, he's absolutely bang on. And that links in with this, what Ryan said there. You know, there are kids having kids now. You know, there are so many... Nino, you'll know this. Ryan, you'll know this. Yeah, you know Dagenham, right? You know Dagenham, well known worldwide for single mums. Like you'll see literally an 11 or 12-year-old girl there pushing a pram with 3 kids. You know that's considered normal, right? You know, and if she's 11 and she's got 3 kids, blimey, she started late, right? That's how bad it is. Honestly, there are kids having kids, and it's happening a lot. I know some. I won't name her on here because you know I wouldn't waste my breath on her. But I know of a girl, and there have been a few of them who. Oh, I've been told if I get a baby, if I get pregnant, I can get a council flat. Right. So she'll go out and she'll just, forcefully, get pregnant. She'll sleep with anyone just to get pregnant, right? And then you'll get those girls who are already in a council flat, but they've been told, you know what, you've only got 2 kids. See if you had a third, if you had 3 kids, you could, well, you wouldn't be in this place anymore, in this council flat. You would get a council house. I'm talking about a 3-bedroom house. And there are girls out there, guys, boys and girls, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, I promise you guys in the chat, I promise you, there are women out there who will hear that and think, oh my God, if I had one more child, I could get out of this flat and get a house with a garden and a drive. Stop. Maybe 2 toilets, one upstairs, one downstairs. No, surely not. No. But they do. They do. Yeah. And what do? They go out and get a 3rd child. Yeah. And they get the house. I promise you. Now, to me, that's messed up. It's messed up. But you know what? To a lot of people, that's normal. That's standard. That's the way of living. That's and this is what I'm saying. And a lot of these girls are young, right? Kids are having kids are kids themselves, and they're having kids. And I've always said this, guys, when that happens, it's like I say about Arsenal all the time, right? All the time that Arsenal act like losers and they don't come correct and they don't do what's required and they don't really recognize just how big of a club they are, right? And how much and the success they could have if they put all the relevant parts in place. They are, without realizing, they are losing a generation of fans. They are, right? But no one will see that until it's too late, until we're further down the track. It's the same thing with this. Kids are having kids. Will you see it straight away? No. But as life goes on, as they get older and, they're messed up because they come from messed up families. Andrew Tate, I totally agree with him. Years ago, it was the done thing. You got together, right? Man and woman, boyfriend, girlfriend, you start courting, you get married, you have a child, family home. A child needs a mum and a dad, yeah? Now, don't happen. Yeah, my parents are still together. They've been together for over 40 years. When I tell people that, they're like, oh, you're joking. They're still together. Nah, you're joking. Really? And I'm like, yeah, why is that? Why are you shocked by that? No, it's just, you don't hear about it anymore, though, do you? You just don't. And this is what I'm saying, guys. When you gauge someone's reaction, when you're saying something like that, which to me is like, yeah, and like, but I suppose maybe I'm the one who's been a bit stupid here. Maybe I'm the one who should be thinking, do you know what? Years ago, it was normal to say that. Now it's like, bloody hell, I'm so proud of them two. 40 years still together. I'm seeing Billy and Mary over there, or Sarah and John over there. They spend 30, 40 grand on a wedding in Italy, and then they last 2 years. And then they break up, and then he's joined Hinge, she's joined Bumble. Within a week, he's going out on a date, and within 2 days, this girl is going out on a date with some random geezer. Right? They've been separated for what? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks. They were married for 2 years. They took vows. Vows don't mean nothing to anyone anymore. Just a piece of paper, right? Yeah. And that is what I see. I know a lot of people like that. Friends of mine, sorry to say, but it's true. And do you know what, guys? Do you know what the sad truth of it is? Nowadays, there are too many people who want the wedding, but they don't want the marriage. And that is the best way I can put it. They want the wedding, the attention, the day, especially the women, because most men don't really want to get married. We get married because we're kind of forced to, right? It's more of a woman's thing. A woman have been dreaming about getting married since they were young girls. That wedding day, that one day is all about them. They get to wear that lovely white dress that costs a bomb and you wear it once. Well, the way it's going nowadays, they're probably wearing it 4, 5, 6 times, right? But that is what it is. It's the wedding. It's all about that day. Everyone is staring at you. The whole day is about you. All the presents go to you. The cash, the gifts go to you. It's all about you, right? And this is the thing. It's the wedding. Yeah, it's the wedding. There is a big difference, people. Let me tell you now, there is a big difference between a wedding and a marriage. Big difference. And from what I'm seeing in 2025 and for the last several years, people around me, people I work with, people I've seen, they want the wedding, but they do not want the marriage, right? They will put all their effort into that one day of getting, well, essentially a party. That's what it is. But in terms of working at a marriage, because a lot of these girls, they seem to think it's all Disney. It's all rainbows and sunshine. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not always going to be Disney. You know, the trials and tribulations, there will be bumps in the road. You know, years ago, there were people who, you know, couples like my mum and dad, for example, especially back then, you can imagine, black man, white woman. In them days, now it's, nothing. In them days, it was a bit of a challenge, let me tell you. It was a bit of a challenge. But you know what? That attitude, that mentality of, do you know what? I love you, you love me. No one can break us. Us against the world. And do you know what? We'll win. Yeah, that mentality, us against the world, us against them. No one breaks us. And do you know what? The amount of times I've said it on this channel in the past when I'm talking about the Arsenal, especially, yeah, when I talk about the Arsenal, you know, when I talk about these little boys, right, not men, when I'm talking about the Arsenal of old, yeah, in the trenches together, right? No one breaks us. You know, that solidarity amongst brothers in the trenches together. I love stuff like that, guys. You have no idea how much I love stuff like that. When people are like that, your boys, we are together. We are family. No one breaks us. No one. No one breaks us. No one gets between us, right? This is what I go on about. So in terms of the Arsenal, in terms of couples today, in terms of boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever, right? People who get married, it winds me up. You buy a gift for these people, you spend money to go to their wedding, and 2 years later, they break up. And when you find out why they broke up, it's not like they broke up over a major. Nah, too many arguments, we just weren't getting along. So, do you know what? Sod it. You know, what, you broke up over that? Something so minor? 2 years ago, you spent 30, 40 grand on a wedding because that's all the rage now, isn't it? Getting married abroad. No one can do it in this country anymore. No. Let's get married abroad. Let's drag everyone over there. And 2 years later, we'll split up. We'll get divorced. But you know what? We'll keep the gifts. Do you know what I mean? Honestly, it's mad. It really does happen. Let me get back to the comments. I'm so sorry. Whew, breathe. Right. Mike, I'm going to bring this up in the next 2 minutes. Diesel Adolescence on Netflix was a good watch. Anybody else watch it? I'm going to touch on that. That was what I was on about. Zoe Thomas, evening everyone. Big up Diesel on the chat. Zoe, I love you, my darling. I love you. Hope you're well. Thank you very much. Tony, AFC 71, evening Diesel. Speaking facts. Wish I didn't move back to London, mate. I'm with you. Noel Kane as well. Pick up yourself, Noel. Hope you're well, mate. Nino, Shannon's Ilford. Nino, I was in there, mate, literally every Friday. No word of a lie. £15 to get in. It was open until 1. Right? Used to have MC Stark in there. He was a mate of mine back then. Mate, I used to love Shannon's. But you know what? Once it started getting good, I remember the one thing about Shannon's, very sticky floor. Remember that? Sticky floor. It's like your feet just stuck to the floor, but whatever. Right? Just when it's about to like get going, it approaches 1 a.m., it's done. It used to really wind me up, but have no fear because we had Dirty Bertie's upstairs. Bertie's nightclub, remember that? More senior women, yeah? Grab a granny night upstairs. That was open until about what? 2, I think? 2, half 2. So we would, Shannon's would close at 1. We go upstairs to Dirty Bertie's, and then when that closed, guys, everyone remembers this. Anyone who ever went Shannon's or Dirty Bertie's will know this. You come out of Shannon's, you do a left. Down the road, you got the chicken shop. Very famous chicken shop where we would get chicken wings and have a right good munch before we went home to bed. Boom! Loved it. Come on. I know you remember that, Nino. Come on. Right. Joseph Connor Golden. Hope you're keeping well, Diesel. I hope you're good, mate. Hope you're well. Pieter Jablanowski. Hello, mate. Hope you're well, Pieter. Hope you're good. Ryan, Dees, from your own experience, where is the best place to meet the ladies? Mate, I'm going to be honest with you, Ryan. Dating apps. I don't go out anymore, bruv. So You know, it used to be a very much a taboo subject. It's not anymore. It's the way to go. It's the only place, mate. I'm not going to lie. I hate it. I'd rather approach and speak face to face and meet someone, but them days are long gone now, you know. So it's all about dating apps, man. It is, you know, it's all about dating apps. You know, you got your Hinge, you got your Bumble, you got your Tinder. A lot of wrong uns on there, a lot of fake profiles, a lot of, and it's mostly girls, if I'm totally honest. There's a lot of girls who just want Instagram followers. You know, you get a lot of people who are on there for the wrong reasons, right? It's literally, however, I will say this, you know, my best mate, you know, is married, and he met his missus on there, you know, so I have seen the good and the bad. It's literally, mate, it's potluck. It literally is potluck. You know, that's the best way I can put it. Other than that, if you've got a dog, you might meet someone over the park. Even then, if you say hello, you know, you probably get, you know, the police called on you. Mate, I don't know. Go to Thailand and get a bride, mate. That's the only thing I can think of. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. Mr. Waffle, when we were 18, we used to hate being asked for ID. I know, but now I love it. Jason, I'm originally from Ipswich. Right, Ipswich. Okay. Mate, the girls love us down there. They love chocolate down Ipswich, man. I'm going to lie to you. I'm originally from Ipswich, born. Mum is from Colchester, yeah, and Dad is from Philadelphia. I'm in the military here. Come on, Jason, my guy. Nice one. Yeah, I know that very well, mate. I know that very well. Do you know, over the years, I've had so many people say to me, Ipswich. Places like Ipswich, Norwich, Lowestoft, untapped. Get yourself down there, Dees. So, yeah, Jace, you know what I'm saying. Career mode and chill. Evening, Diesel. Big up yourself, mate. Up you will. Hope you're good. Yeah, Dagenham, Pram Face City. Facts. Absolutely facts. We've got Tony Blackwell in the chat as well. Big up, D. Hope you well, Tone. Hope you're good, mate. Yeah, you always see young girls walking together, and they each have a pram with 1 or 2 kids each. Mate, 1 or 2 would be an improvement, mate. I'm seeing girls with 3 or 4 or 5. Yeah, they ain't got mate. It's not a family. It's like a village. It's mad. Yeah, this is another thing, Mr. Waffle. It's more easy to cheat nowadays with social media. Do you know what? I believe Zoe. Zoe. I'm so sorry to say this, darling, because I know you're watching. And you are a lady. So I'm so sorry, but I can only be honest. I from what I've seen, guys, the cheating thing is true. But you know what? From what I've seen, I hand on heart, I think women are a lot worse than men now. I really do. I think listen, us men, we are no angels, right? By any means. Well, you know, I'm not saying we are not angels. In the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years, I personally believe women have more than caught up with us. I think they are worse. I really do. I'm telling you, I've seen it. You know, I've seen it. They're slippery. You know, do you know what? Right, I used to work, not where I am now. I used to work at a place, and there was a few girls used to work there, and you know, you just get a sense. I can read people, like, you know, quite well. I like to think I'm very good at that, you know. And there were these girls always banging on about their family, always, you know, banging on about the boyfriend or the fiance or whatever, to a point where you're like, you know what? These are good girls. It's nice, refreshing to see that sometimes, you know, because it's nice, you know, because I like loyal women, like, you know, who doesn't, right? You know, but when I see like women who openly talk all the time about their fiance and their kids, and they, you know, they can't wait to show you like the pictures of the kids on their phone and stuff like that, it's really nice. I'm a family person, right? So I love seeing things like that. But then, do you know what? That work conference comes, and then you're out, and then like you see these girls, you know, like they start off the night very good, and then they have a few drinks, and then you see them slipping off with the RD or the manager, or, you know, you see that, and it just lets me down. It just makes, I look at that and I think to myself, do you know what? this sometimes it just puts me off a relationship, because when I see stuff like that, and these are from women who I'm like, nah, she won't cheat. Nah. You can tell she's loved up with her geezer. You can tell she's loved up. And then it just takes a few drinks. And you know what it's like, guys. You know, like when you got that manager, you know, middle-aged, but, you know, they have the fancy title, you know, not really attractive or nothing like that, but they have the title, you know, they're quite high up in the company, right? You know, so girls see that as power and, ooh, love it, right? And this is the thing. And then you see him like slipping off, you know, going up to the hotel room. And then the next day, they're posting family pics on Instagram. And I'm like, oh my God, you absolute hoe. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm telling you guys, I've seen it. I've seen it. You know, and this is what I'm saying. They are worse than us men. Worse. Sorry, I've got to say it. Hit the east side of the LBC on the mission trying to find Mr. Warren G. Warren, come on, my guy. Hey, Diesel, it's been a while, but big up. Hope you're well, mate. Hope you're good. We've got Marshall Kagami in the chat as well. Marshall, big up yourself, mate. Hope you're well. Oh, Jason, I've got to read this out, please. I might even read it out twice. Diesel, if you bring that London accent to Florida, mate, the women will flock. Oh, Jace, don't tempt me, mate. Don't tempt me, honestly. Because you know what it is? The Yanks, right? They love British, don't they? It's really weird. It's like British hate the Yanks, but the Yanks love the British. It's absolutely mad. But I do know that, as much as I've never been, a lot of my boys have been. A lot of my boys have been Vegas, and they just tell me, they're like, "Days, honestly, it's Disneyland for adults." Vegas, especially where like you're British and you got that proper London accent as well. Like they love it, so they fall over themselves for it. So, do you know what? I might have to do it. I'm gonna have to do it, mate. I have to. Seriously, have to. Mr. Waffle, yeah, women get laid whenever they want. It's harder for us men. Yeah, that's an absolute fact. I'll be honest. And do you know what, guys? I don't mean to be crude, right, or whatever. But you know, I'm not media trained. I just say it as it is, right? Imagine the fattest, ugliest woman. Yeah, right now. Where I live, you know, there's quite a few around here, if I'm honest. But just imagine that, right? You could have a woman who's 25, 30 stone, ugly as anything, stinks, whatever, right? But if she says to herself or says to her girls, do you know what, girls? We're going out tonight, and I've decided I'm going to get laid tonight. I've decided I fancy a bit. So come on, let's go out and let's get some. They're getting some. That's the difference. I'm telling you, the fattest, ugliest girl can go out tonight and more or less have her pick. Because the thing about men, the sad thing about men, not all men, but a lot of men will just sleep with anything. And because men are like that, these girls, even though they're horrible, they go on like they're nice and they're crisp. And, nah, man, I'm sorry. Move from me. Nah, can't. I'm sorry, I can't have it. Anyway, very quickly, adolescence. Guys, my God, I watched it last week, 3 episodes. What really impressed me was like one long continuous take. Yeah, adolescence. Just to give a bit of context for any guys who don't know, this series is currently on Netflix. It's about a young boy. What is he? 12 or 13, and he's been. I don't want to ruin it for anyone who's not seen it. He's been accused of murdering a girl. I think the girl was a bit younger than him or whatever, right? And yeah, obviously, you know, police come and, you know, the very first scene, the police come and, you know, invade the house and, like, you know, they arrest the boy. And Stephen Graham, let me just say this, guy, Stephen Graham. Now, I've always known he's a good actor, but I'll tell you something now. After watching this, my respect levels for Stephen Graham has gone up there, right? What an actor. What an actor. Absolutely brilliant. And you know what? I was reading up on it, and I think this came about because this series, it came about because Stephen Graham mentioned, he said, look, one day, I think I read the paper or whatever, and I read about this young boy who stabbed to death this young girl, and he said it resonated with me. It really, I just felt so sad, blah, blah, blah. And I think this is what made him sort of like, create this, or gave, the idea for this. Now, what I will say for you guys who are watching right now, if you guys are parents yourselves and you've got kids, I would say probably from 10 above, yeah, I'd strongly urge you to make your child watch this series with you, because honestly, it gives such an insight into kids today, right? There's a scene in the series where it's continuous. I think it's episode 2. It's continuously shot in the school, and honestly, I swear to God, the way these kids are in that school. I know people say it's a series. This is how kids are though today. When I went to school, you guys sort of, similar age to me. Yeah, again, we weren't angels, blah, 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 but what you're seeing now, my God, the way they're talking to teachers, the lack of discipline and all this, honestly, it's absolutely mad. Honestly, it's crazy. Someone said to me the other day that you can't say the word naughty anymore in school. A teacher can't use that. You can't say that. So naughty is banned. The word naughty is banned. If a kid is naughty now, then obviously the kid's going to be labelled with something. Oh, he's got this, he's got that, he's got this, autism, ADHD, this. It can't just be a case of, he's just a naughty child. No, he's naughty. He must be labelled. He must have something. He must be labelled. We're getting a lot of that now as well. And, but honestly, I promise you, this series, watch it with your child, because honestly, Stephen Graham, he plays the dad, and I'll tell you something, my God, it's just every parent, and I'm telling you now, every parent needs to watch this series just to get a little insight into what it's like nowadays being a child, what it's like nowadays being in schools, what it's like nowadays when you're a parent and you're working all the hours that God sends, and you're trying to juggle the two. You're trying to be a good parent, and you're out to work all day. And sometimes, naturally, you're going to miss things, little signals. Watch this series. Please watch it. It's absolutely brilliant. Pepsi. There's married women at my work sleeping with co-workers, mate. It's facts. Yeah, facts. I'm telling you. It happens, mate. It happens, and they're getting away with it because they're so slippery. This is the thing, right? I said to a girl once, right, who I know, I said, look, it's yes, it's wrong to cheat for anyone, man or woman, but it's worse when a woman cheats. She went, what do you mean? How's it worse? You feminist, man, feminist, all this rubbish, right? No, it is. It's worse because, and I'm going to be totally honest with you. A man can sleep with someone as easy as taking a wee, taking a piss, right? It's, a man can sleep with a woman he hates, a woman he detests, right? Easy, do it easy. It's just, it's a workout. It's recreation. It's, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be crass, but it's true, right? King of the jungle. That's how we're built, right? you can do it with anyone and think nothing of it. A man can be with a woman and 5 minutes after he's left, forget about her. It's right. It's true. But with a woman, there's normally emotion in it. 9 times out of 10, it's emotion. And for me, I think it's yeah, of course I think it's worse. I do. I think it's worse. Right? That's just my opinion. Jimmy D, I'm in my late 20s. I've never been that sociable. Nowadays, I haven't got the time. Mainly because I'm working non-stop. Facts. Mike, Stephen Graham was called Monkey Boy when he was at school growing up in Liverpool. The mind boggles. That is how it was back in them days. I hope our society has moved on. Yeah, because people who don't know, Stephen Graham is mixed race. Stephen Graham's granddad is Jamaican, I believe. And when you actually look at him, you can sort of see it. But listen, he in them days, especially in Liverpool, man, that was rife. That was rife. I don't know how it is down there now, but in them days, Liverpool was one of the worst places for it. That's one thing I do know. But Stephen, honestly, this guy he's just such a good actor, man. Honestly, like you have to watch it just to appreciate what I'm saying, right? Don't take my word for it. Watch it. Like the way he is, like he's the dad, and he's just the worst thing for any parent, right? Is when you're in a situation like that and you can't do anything to help your children. Like if your child is sick, really sick, and you're just sitting there thinking, if I could swap with you, I would do it in a heartbeat. I can't, like when you can't help as much as you want to, you just can't, like there's nothing you can do. It's the worst feeling. I promise you, it's the worst feeling. Mr. Waffle, US women are more attractive in my opinion. There's not many nice looking birds here. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah, there ain't, mate. There ain't. I'm telling you. There ain't. Warren, it's also true about dating apps being the way forward now. All my previous girls and exes were from dating apps. Only my current missus wasn't because we were previously friends for years. Yeah, it's the only way to meet someone now, mate. Unfortunately, the nightlife is dead. And you're not in the pub. The thing is, you could go to a pub and with your mate and you could see a couple of girls over there or whatever, but then just know this, if you approach or, you want to go and say hello or whatever, there's a lot of women now, these modern women who look at that as, creep, wrong'un, pervert, you know what I mean? And you're not, you're just going over to like say hello because obviously, we're from an era where that's what you did. You like someone. It's like when we were raving back in the day. Do you know what I mean? Like you dance, you see like a bird on a dance floor. Oh, she's all right, and then you go over. You know what I mean? Like you go up behind her, hands on the waist. Start dancing, and that moment when she turns round, it's sink or swim in it. So when she turns around, if she likes you, she'll start dancing with you and she'll smile and she'll carry on. If she don't, she'll just quickly move away. Right? It was one of them. Do you know what I mean? But that was how it was. Now, come on, my God, can you imagine that? Girls dancing, you go up behind her, put your hands on her waist. Mate, you'd probably get 2-3 years. Do you know what I'm saying? It's mad, isn't it? Honestly, our times have changed. It's crazy. Grant, I had Tinder and I had a few matches, but they were right mingers. Half these sites, you have to pay for certain features, so I ended up deleting it. Yeah, a lot of them are a con, mate, if I'm honest with you. A lot of them are. Do you know what the funny thing is, right? I said this. There's a few girls who I work with, right? They're on these apps, and it's interesting, like some of the things that they tell me, right? Some of the stories that they tell me. But you know what? One of them, she's a bit older than me. She's about 2 years older than. I think she's 45, and she's on there. And the funny thing is, I said to her, right? I said, you know what? If I asked you what you're looking for in a man, if I asked you in your 20s, right? You would have such a long list. Oh, well, he's got to be nice looking. He's got to be charming. He's got to be physically fit. He has to go gym. He has to have a nice car. He has to have a nice job. He has to have money behind him. He has to have, fashion sense. He has to have this, that. The long list. You ask a woman now, she's 45. Do you know what, Days? As long as he's nice and he's trustworthy, that's it. That's all. I just want a nice man. I just want a nice guy. Nice, And isn't it mad that you think in your 20s, this long list, he's got to have this, he's got to have that, he's got to have this, that. And then because of how bad it's got now, there's a lot of wrong uns out there now, these modern men and modern women, right? Now, you've gone from that long list to now it's as long as he's nice. That's it. I just want to meet a nice person. When a woman tells you that what that means is this woman has met wrong after wrong after wrong after wrong to a point where, she's more or less been battered down, that she's had to sort of amend or change her her type or whatever it is, you know. So what she was looking for previously, you know, reality kicks in. You know, the likelihood is I'm not going to meet someone who's got all them points. So do you know what? I'll sacrifice that, and I just want someone who's nice, who's just going to treat me well. That's it. That's it. I'm not asking for much. You was before, but now you're not. Do you know? Do you know what I'm saying? It's honestly, it's mad. I know so many people, guys. You know, before I'm going to go in about 5-10 minutes, right? Just so you know, I'm not doing these 3 hours anymore. I can't. Excuse me. But and I would imagine you guys in the chat, you know, you must know people like this as well. And again, I'm not being horrible. I'm not going to name them, right? I've got, you know, certain friends or whatever. But do you know what? I know so many people who are together and they are not happy, right? It's a bit of a toxic relationship. I know couples who are married and some who are just, you know, not married, but, you know, they've been together a hell of a long time, lived together, got a mortgage together, got kids together, share the car. And individually, they've said to me, you know, her and him, yeah, I'm not happy. You know, if I could go, I would. You know, that saying, it's cheaper to keep her, right? That's a true saying. That is a true, I'm telling you. And then I've always said, you know, me personally, I couldn't be with someone who I wasn't happy with. I just couldn't do it, guys. I can't, right? You know, life is short. You only get one shot. And I just want to be happy, right? But you get certain people who are like, you know, they don't want to be with each other. But when I've said, well, leave then. Yeah, but if I leave, you know, we share the car. I'd have to get a car. I'd have to move out and get a flat. I'd have to start going gym because I've let myself go because I've been very comfortable in this relationship. I'd have to go from seeing the kids every day to seeing them once a fortnight. I'd have to, you know, these just reeling all that off. Already, I'm knackered. I'm tired. I'm just, you know, and you know, you got a chance to stick or twist, and a lot of them stick. You know, a lot of them stick. You know, and it's sad. It's sad because it you know, it gets to a point where, you know, you probably realize when you're 45, 50, now, do you know what, enough's enough, I've got to go. But by then, you're middle-aged. I'm not saying it's too late, of course not. But what I'm saying is, my God, you've best years of your life, you could have made the choice before and gone on to, you know, it's just. But look, it's the way of the world. I don't know many happy relationships. I'll be honest, guys. I don't. I think COVID was a big test for a lot of people, a lot of couples. A lot of couples failed it. A lot of couples realized, you know, like when you're stuck indoors. See, I know a lot of couples who are sort of, they're like passing ships in the night. They're together, but he works nights, she works days. They don't really see each other unless it's the weekend. And it worked. It worked for them. COVID comes, can't leave the house, got to stay in. You've got to get to know your missus, and she's got to get to know you. And guess what? You realize you don't like each other. You've got nothing in common. You know, that happens as well. And that's happened to a lot of people. You know, it's sad. You know, if you're married, I'm one of them people. I think if you're married, if you do it, marriage is something you should only do once. You take vows, you take those vows seriously. You know, you spend a lot of money on the wedding because it's an astronomical price now. You know, and all your family and friends have made the effort to go there and watch it. And for me, you know, depending on what the reason is, but it'd have to be a very, very serious reason for you, you know, for you guys, you know, to split up and divorce or whatever. I just think, you know, there's a lot of people nowadays who think, you know, it has to be perfect and it has to be Disney. And if it's not, there's a lot of people who would rather bail and run rather than stick it out and say to each other, we love each other, we're going through a sticky patch right now, but that love should help see us through it. But I think a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people are impatient now. You know, they're impatient, you know. And like I say, they want the wedding, they don't want the marriage. I'll end it on that. Simple. But look, guys, adolescents, watch it. Netflix, I watched a film last night on there. It's called Just Cause. Sean Connery, Lawrence Fishburne. My God, that film was absolutely brilliant. The twist in that is mad. I did not see it coming at all. It's a bit of an old film. I don't know. I think it was made 96 or I don't know, 15 years ago or whatever. I can't remember. Very good film. Just Cause. Make sure you watch that. It was absolutely brilliant. Protection. It's on ITVX at the minute. Make sure you watch that. That was really, really good. Again, corruption at its finest. Watch that. Adolescence for me is my biggest tip for you guys. Please, please, please watch that. Right? Watch that, especially if you've got kids. Watch it. Yeah, be a responsible parent and watch it, because it will teach you certain things about how kids are thinking today. And when they put this emoji or this icon on a text message, you think it means that, but it really means this. All that sort of stuff. Watch it. I promise you, you won't go wrong. Ryan, it's like girls want a guy who's rich, who is tall, etc., etc. And if you haven't got that, then they aren't interested. You might be the nicest guy in the world, but to them, that don't matter. Do you know what annoys me, right, about a lot of these women, yeah? And I will say this, right? If you're on these dating apps, right, like, you'll see what I mean. On every girl's profile, do you know what? Any girl I speak to, I always make a point of saying, "Yeah, so what's your usual type then?" Oh, I don't really have a type. I don't really. I go for personality and absolute rubbish. Every girl's got a type, right? So strike one, you've lied to me. Yeah, already. Yeah, we just started talking and you lied to me. No, honestly, I haven't got a type. Okay, cool. So do you swipe right then on every guy you see on here? No, of course not. Why not? Why don't you swipe right on every guy? Well, because I don't like the way. So you have a type then. So what's your bloody type? That's number one. Number two, every girl's profile. Oh, I want a man who's emotionally intelligent. What does that mean? The amount of girls I've asked this, emotionally intelligent. Can someone tell me what that means? I have no idea what it means. And when I ask these girls, they don't really have a clue either, right? I'm very much a stoic man. I'm old school, yeah? If you want the kind of guy who's going to cry and blubber every 5 minutes, trust me, darling, that ain't me, yeah? Right? Go and get yourself one of these modern men. That's not me at all, right? So please, because you can say you want that, and the man who does it, once they cry a couple of times, the speed at which respect will be lost for you to him, yeah? Honestly, girls say, they say they want this, just be in tune with his emotions and be emotionally available and all this rubbish, yeah? Girls say all this, guys, but the minute you start being like that and you start crying or whatever, right, they lose respect for you. I'm telling you, they lose respect. Someone said to me once, right, and I think I've said it on the stream ages ago, yeah, if I had a choice of my girl to love me or respect me, I'm taking respect all day, every day of the week. If I had to pick one out of the two, she has to respect me. She can love me, she can hate me on some days, but you know what? She has to respect me because I'm the man. I'm the man. You know what I'm saying? That's a non-negotiable. You know, if you got a girl who respects you, right? I'm telling you now, she won't fall out of line. Right, it's a respect thing. We demand respect. We don't ask for a lot as men, yeah, but we must have our women respecting us. That's an old school trait. This new stuff that you're seeing now, emotionally available, emotionally intelligent. What does that mean? These girls ain't got a clue what they want, because some girls, when they get a nice guy, yeah, they don't know what to do with that nice guy, because girls deep down, they like a bastard. I don't care what anybody tells me. They do. They do. Right? They moan all the time. Oh, yeah, my last boyfriend, he was really mean to me and he was horrible and he called me names and this and that. Oh, really? Yeah, treated me really bad. How long was you with him? Oh, 10 years. 10 years. So why was you with him so long then? Oh, you know what it's like. You get stuck in a rut and no, darling, no. No, sorry, no. But then when you're with a nice guy, yeah, he's too nice. He just everything I ask him to do, he does it, and it just got a bit boring in the end. It just got a bit boring. Yeah, but you said you wanted a nice guy because you're sick and tired of all the wrongs that you've had in the past. Yeah, I know, but he was too nice. Is there such a thing as too nice? Isn't that what you girls want? A guy to treat you like a princess? Yeah, but Listen, guy, I'm sorry, guys. I don't have the tolerance for that nonsense. I really don't. I can't. I'm sorry. I can't do it. So yeah, after these girls, they ain't got a clue on what they want, and when they get it, do you know what? One of my favorite films, Remember the Titans, is one of my favorites. I've said it to you guys previously, but also there's a film called Why Did I Get Married? There's two of them. Why Did I Get Married? Right, Janet Jackson. That's another film I would urge you guys to watch. It's one of my favorite films. It's brilliant. It has humor, it's sadness, every emotion you can imagine is in those two films, right? But there is a saying in that film. I'm trying to think of what it was. Oh Christ! What? Oh, I've just lost my train of thought there. Oh, what was I going to say? Lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry. Oh yeah, no. When he goes, this couple, right? They're having an argument, right? And he says to her, he went, "Do you know what the problem with you, right? You're so used to losing that you don't realize when you've won." And what it was, it's a couple. She's always on his case, right? He's a nice guy, but she's always on him, always expecting him to trip up, always, right? And this guy generally loves her, right? And he's trying to say, no, I haven't done it, but she has trust issues. And one day he has enough, and he says, "Do you know what? You're so used to losing that you don't realize when you've won." And what he meant by that is, you're so used to all these wrong-uns, all these scumbags, yeah, that you've had before, that when you actually do get a good guy, you don't know what to do with it because you're so messed up by the guys before me, and I've got to pay for that. Why am I paying for these guys' mistakes? Why am I paying for these guys? And this is what a lot of girls do, right? They take that crap in the future with them, and it affects you. I didn't do anything. I wasn't there at the time. That's them. I'm not like them. Don't treat me like them, you know. And I'm telling you. And I've always said this, guys, right? With all due respect, I know this will upset women. I'll tell you something. If more men were like me and like a lot of you guys, if they started to get a mindset like ours, I'll tell you something now. These women would not be in some trouble. They would be in trouble. Yeah? I'm telling you. I'm absolutely telling you. Yeah? No more of this, oh, I can do what I want and I can sleep with who I want and I can have it whenever I want. Nah. If there were more guys like us who actually wisened up and thought, "No, do you know what? All this, what can you do for me? How about what can you do for me, darling? What are you bringing to the table? Oh, this man, he must have a nice car. He must have this. He must, be tall, funny, good looking, go gym, have a job, car, money, this, that. No. What are you bringing to the table? How about this? How about you? Yeah, I'm telling you. Am I wrong? Anyway, Jason, thanks, Diesel. So true. Come on, bro. Protection, the Mikel Arteta story. Protection. Yeah. This guy, we're talking about protection. This is a man who has protection at its fullest. Yeah. Absolute joke. Just trying to see if there's anything I've missed. Now, yeah, it's more about being different. So, So when you go away, it's like, wow, this is different, and the dynamic changes from over here being same old to being a tourist abroad. Do you know what I've noticed? Things like that, right? When you're a Londoner, and honestly, I swear to God, right? When you go places like Newcastle, Manchester, and you talk, Newcastle especially, they love these northern places. They love a London accent. They just love it. You know what I mean? I remember I went Newcastle. I went there on a stag do, and I've always been told about Newcastle like it's proper. You know what I mean? Anyway, so yeah, and I went into the shop to get a paper, right? And I went bought a paper, and I said something to the girl behind the counter. And as soon as I started speaking, she went, "Oh my God, you're from London?" I can't do I can't do a Geordie accent, but I was like, "Yeah." But when you're in them places, like you put it on more. Yes, darling, how are you, baby? You all right? You know, mate, they love it. I'm telling you now, they love it. But what I love about Newcastle as well, even the Geordie lads up there, like the guys, like it's not a case of these Londoners think they are coming here taking our women. No, they're sound. I'm telling you, it's such a good night out. If you're going there looking for trouble, trust me, you will find it, right? But if you're going there just to have a good time, have a crack or whatever, I'm telling you now, the Geordies are lovely. Really nice people down there. The girls are lovely as well. Stunning, some of them. Honestly, I swear to God. They're not like London girls. I'm used to the girls down here where you look at them or you might smile and say hello. Married, can't, I've got a boyfriend. Shut up, you ugly cat. I just said hello, right? No. See up, Manchester's getting a bit more like London now, so it's losing its appeal a little bit for me. But Newcastle especially, you say hello. They say, yeah, you can have a chat. Like they're not up themselves at all, right? They're not like these London girls down here who think their shit don't stink. It's true. Like, honestly, it's such a big difference. Anyway, I'm really going to go now, guys, because I can feel my throat's going. Talking from someone with experience. Come on, Warren G. You know, women found out with me how ruthless I am if you try taking the piss out of me. They thought because I wasn't your typical bad boy and treat women with respect that they could try and take advantage. Exactly. Nah, listen, I'm a nice guy, yeah, but as soon as you do something, it's a red flag, I'm out. I'm not into second, third, fourth, fifth chances. No. Sod that. I'm better than that. Yeah. But you get a lot of guys who, you know, well, if I lose her, who knows when I'll get another girl. You know what I mean? And a lot of guys are like that. This is what I'm saying. When you're, you know, you don't have a problem meeting girls or whatever, yeah, you know, then it's, you know, you can afford to chuck and know that in a couple of weeks you'll get another or whatever. But you do get some guys who just grab the first thing that comes their way and they hold on to it so tight. And I think when they do that, that's when girls will just take the piss out of you. You know what I'm saying? And you kind of have to, as a proper man, if a girl does that to you and she gets away with it, she'll do it again and again and again. You are a doormat. And I'm telling you now, no girl, if they're honest, being honest with you, no girl likes that, right? They might like it for the first week or two. After a while, you know, they don't. I've known girls to say, oh, Deez, do you know what? Anything I tell him to do, he does. And it's starting to bug me. Yeah, I want him to fight back. Call me a name. Call me something. Have an argument. Argue with me. Anything. Just get a reaction. But nicey. Yeah, I'm telling you, they don't like that. But anyway, Mr. Waffle, if I didn't have a daughter, I wouldn't live in the UK. Facts, absolute facts, mate. I'd have moved abroad years ago. Right, guys, I'm going to go. Thank you very much for tuning in. 1 hour, 37 minutes. I've done pretty well tonight, as of you. Black Man Dom 123. I'll see you. Hello, Tripod. Don't forget to like, guys. Thank you very much. If you could listen, like I said, a bit light-hearted tonight, a bit of banter. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I love these. These are the streams I love doing. These are the streams I love. You know, just sit back. Do you know what I mean? Just have a chat, talk about anything and everything. You know what I mean? Honestly, I love all this. I really do. I promise you. And you guys have stuck with me from the start to the end. Many thanks. Jason Carter, Ryan Stockley, Warren, all ears, yeah. Grant McRoberts, Pepsi, Mike England. Oh, love yous. Marshall, Nino, Tony, love yous. Steve, anyone I've missed, I'm so sorry. But guys, I'm going to go. Oh, listen, by the way, I'm watching something at the moment. Oh, what's it called? Oh, I can't remember. It's got Sean Bean in it. He's a gangster. This city is ours. Something like that. I'll find out more. I've just started watching it. It's really good so far. But anyway, guys, I'm off. Love yous. And I'm going to play the intro as an outro. Be back soon. Subscribe, please. Subscribe. So when I do go live on these random nights, you will be notified and you can watch me and watch this again. Right? Lovely. Thank you very much. Love yous. Bye. Well. Guess who it is? Diesel's back. Join me, subscribe, but get the word out. Diesel's back, and he ain't going nowhere.